Welcome to Emotional Labor. This is a show where we do the discourse so you don't have to. I'm joined here by Levy. Would you ride on Taylor Swift's private jet?
No, I have so many morals. Also, I'm really against blonde people.
What if there was like a sick child on the jet and she was like, I'm not going to drop this kid off at the hospital unless you come with me right now?
Does the kid have like leukemia or is he just like balding?
We don't have to be specific.
Can we not like Uber the sick kid so he won't die?
There's an Uber surcharge going on. The only form of transportation is private jet and
I guess
walking.
I would. I would selflessly pull on
Wow.
my.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is. Burning down the Amazon.
Wha- Uh, uh,
Would you go
oh.
pour kerosene on a redwood with Taylor Swift too?
Would she be part of the flames?
If you want her to, that's up to you.
No, why would I want her to be murdered? You're sick.
I didn't bring that
Yeah, I
up.
asked to see if you're evil.
I'm a Gemini, actually.
I thought you were queer.
What's the worst thing about San Francisco? And don't say gay people.
I would say tech bro culture, but I also love it because I benefit from it. They have really low standards when it comes to women, probably the feces.
The feces is a big problem.
It actually is. I think there's an app called the Poop Tracker where you can see where a new deuce has been dropped.
Is this real?
Oh yeah.
That's the most tech bro solution to people shitting on the street.
I feel like there should have like a leadership board. Oh, how many can you report? It'd be like Nightcrawler where people want to track how many poops, so they actually end up pooping themselves and like they end up being like the phantom shitter. Like, oh, I spotted this one. And I just conveniently left Chipotle an hour ago.
Candy Crush, but for feces.
Yeah.
Those tech bros, they fetishize Asian women so much. Do they also fetishize Persian Jewish people as well?
Here's the thing about Jewish men and Jewish tech bros. White men love to fetishize Asian women. It's really gross, but Jewish men, you're gonna step above. I've dated 3 or maybe 4 Jewish guys in a row who dated Asian women after me, and they all had very peculiar interests in anime, but I'm not gonna judge that. Coupled with the stuff that I know, it was a little weird. Do they fetishize Jewish women at all? Sometimes I went on a date and I gave a tip to the ice cream person because why wouldn't I? And then after he said, I'm surprised you did that. Like, aren't you Jewish? And I said,
No.
ooh,
Oh my
ooh,
God.
little anti-Semitism. And I feel like that's kind of exotic. Like, oh, it
Christ.
might have horns.
That's fucked. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's okay.
I was going to make some joke about Jewish people being unable to fetishize Asian people because they are West Asian in origin and therefore they're just fetishizing themselves.
When I was a little kid, I thought that I was Asian. My family's from the Middle East, like Kurdistan. Parts of the various countries my family is from is in the continent of Asia. So I'd always tell I don't want to say actual Asians, more traditionally Asian. Oh, I'm also Asian. And then they would quiz me. They started talking to me in languages I did not know. And they'd be like, you're not a real Asian. It was kind of like my first cancellation.
Your first Asian fishing experience. This is wild to me because in the UK, Asian has a completely different meaning. Speaking of Asia, Fesenjun or Kubide?
The or.
The
Like
or.
you said some Kubija and you said or. And I don't know the other ones, but I do know or.
You know, the Persian stew, and then Kubide,
Oh,
like the traditional.
oh,
It's okay, don't worry. I've embarrassed myself.
no, you're good. Probably the latter. I'm a bad Persian. My family, they like me, but they don't love me because I don't eat their food in general. They kind of terrify me. I remember when I was 6 years old, I was scarred because I saw brains, and apparently lamb brain is a Persian cuisine and delicacy, also cow's tongue. And
Mm.
that's when I started being like, oh, I should be vegetarian. You guys are terrifying. Not because of the meat eating, just because like the Persian women are scary. You can
Mhm.
smell them before you see them.
You were intimidated by their stead. I cannot
Oh,
corroborate that.
not in like deodorant way. They just have a lot of cologne.
I've heard that about Middle Eastern men in general.
It's mostly the men, but we're really egalitarian. We want the women to smell as atrocious as the men, which is really beautiful.
Feminism wins. How can we uplift and center Italian ex bodies?
I'm like so glad you asked this. Let me just speak for all of them. I want to uplift their voices, so let me speak on their behalf. Maybe I should start talking like these. I'm gonna get canceled for that.
That's
I
so
don't care.
authentic. Oh my God, did you live in Italy? The accent's
Like
spot on.
spiritually, in past life, my name is Mario. I had a brother. We don't talk about him. My birthday's tomorrow, and I'm throwing an Italian ex/Jewish problematic fave themed party. I've been trying for the past hour or so to make George Costanza's like bald head, but it's really hard. And now I'm trying to think of other Italians I could cosplay as. And I don't know if it's really great to cosplay a nationality. This is a new version of bigotry, and I think it's sad that I'm doing it, but somebody has to.
And there's so many Italian icons you could cosplay as. You know, Papa John.
Stephanie Germanotta in House of Gucci. Mussolini, but like bad. I wanted to like paint my face grayscale and then do that. But I felt like I would just quickly turn him into an anti-Semitic caricature somehow. He has like a schnoz in it and some eyebrows. I've already offended the Italians. Do I also want to offend the Jews?
Alexandra Mussolini, his granddaughter, will come for you because she's active on social media and in the city pop scene. She was a city pop singer-songwriter in Japan in the 80s, and her music's good. That's the worst part about it.
It's like Charles Manson. His music was actually pretty good.
Was it? That's depressing.
It was like 60s, like psychedelic rock. Not my jam, because I prefer Gregorian chants or 18th century labor or Harriet songs, but like Manson can slay. Oh, he literally slayed. That's bad.
On many occasions.
I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so I know things.
Who's your favorite South Asian music artist?
Probably a person named Iz. I don't know much else.
That's the objectively correct answer. Can you name your second favorite?
Can I? That's a great question. I'm trying to think, do I listen to any? This is where my knowledge of geography will show. There's a band called Kaveret. They're not really South Asian, but I'm going to count them. Kaveret?
Kaveret.
They have the songs like it's about a girl who's pretty and something about opening windows. And not in like the Ben Platt waving windows way. Like corny and Jewish. I love the Iranian artist Mansour. Whenever I meet a Persian boy, I'm always like, in Persian, salam, but if that doesn't convince them, I start singing Mansour. And I don't speak Farsi, but they don't know because I can sing Mansour.
It's over for them.
It is. Then they're like, oh, I have to wife her up. And then only after it's too late, they realize I have a terrible personality. Sorry, you gave me the dowry. Like, what can we do?
Less of a question, more of a statement. I'm actually Nathan Fielder's lawyer. You just got served. I will be sending you the restraining order in the post, or I can email it to you as a PDF, whichever you prefer.
So when you say email, it would be coming from you, or would I get access to Nathan's personal email finally? Because I've tried hacking in so many times.
I'm afraid it would be from my email. I believe Mr. Fielder would not want it to come from his personal correspondence.
How tight is your security? How much does Nathan trust you? And do you have an allergic reaction to chlorophyll? Can I detach your skin, put it on myself, cosplay as his lawyer, rehearse that I am his lawyer? Talk about maybe various lawsuits he might have against exes, and then I'm going to interview them, find out what he likes, find out what he doesn't like, and then eventually become his wife. I'm just asking, curious.
In a hypothetical situation, that's possible, yes.
Cool, so you can email it to me. You're really accommodating.
That's okay. That's what us lawyers are, accommodating. Famously. Do you have any advice on queering the arms industry?
Not enough missiles have the rainbow flag on them. I'm going to change actually all the company names from Lockheed Martin to Lockheed Marty. I love you. I'm your husband. It's a man's voice saying that, so it's a homosexual, beautiful, loving relationship. I'm going to change Raytheon to Ray. Try on these underwears that I bought for you because I love how your groin looks in polyester. It's a bit of a mouthful, but they're okay with that because they love each other.
Slave beyond.
And I don't think we should bomb gay people.
I don't think our missiles have developed the capacity to not target people based on their sexuality, but I'm sure we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure we bombed Lebanon.
Are there gay people in Lebanon?
I thought it's the place where the gay women go.
Oh no. We've made a terrible PR move there. Okay, maybe they were like problematic. They were TERFs. It was Turf City.
Well, you can't blame them in that case. Like,
I'm happy they got bombed.
Ooh. I feel like I'm Ziwa right now.
The digital panopticon we live in, where it's perfectly normal to ridicule strangers in front of thousands of people, is very similar to the neurosis of being watched and judged, even internally, by the male gaze. Except this can affect men too. So is it actually a slay?
I'm personally okay with the male gaze judging me. I think they have a good sense of style. See, I'm using facts and logic right now, whereas before you were saying, are you okay with the male gaze judging you? And I'm saying, yes, I am okay with the male gaze judging me because everybody judges me. I'm not going to disclude homosexual males from having me as the recipient slash target of their judgment. In fact, I would argue that my own judgments unto myself are the true panopticon, the true neuroses. This is the villain. I'm my own worst enemy, not the gays. The lesbians, on the other hand, I do care. I don't want them to judge me.
Hypothetically speaking, if you had these gays and lesbians in one room, would you want to pit them against each other?
I think that's been done before historically, but history repeats itself. I could create an internal homosexuality war. I don't think I have enough star power on my own for that. I think we need to recruit a few gay icons of both lesbians, of both gay men. Bisexual people are just being ignored completely.
Who cares?
Carl Sagan.
Is Carl Sagan gay?
I don't know.
He could be gay.
Maybe.
Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan. Gay man. Society doesn't want you to know this.
It's true. Oh my god, it was staring us in the face the whole time. Fuck, marry, kill the cast of Seinfeld.
Oh, honey. I'm going to murder Costanza and Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry because he's just not funny and he makes more money than I ever will. That's rude. Costanza, I just think that he could be a martyr for all the short kings, and I'm trying to give them that. I'm gonna marry Elaine because she's pretty. We have kind of similar hair. I might end up cosplaying her tomorrow. What's more lesbian than wanting to date your twin? And I would hook up with Kramer because he's a wild card. He's really tall and he's really weird. And I think those are the only things that a girl really needs in society.
He's the Pete Davidson of the 90s in many ways. Pete Davidson will also have a racist moment at the end of this decade.
Oh, he might.
Yeah.
Kramer would have dated Princess Diana, and I think Pete will date Queen Elizabeth.
Did Kramer actually date Princess Diana?
I'm just making up lies.
Oh, because the timelines match up. And she is the Kim K of the day as well. So,
She was the Kim K.
What do you think Ben Shapiro dreams about?
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez's feet. Let's be real. It's just that. It's always that.
Thank you, Levy.
We're